Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Nick. What you see on your screen now is our flight plan for today. The circle is our takeoff and landing point. Number 1 is the first area we're flying in over the main site of Old Oak Common towards the east of where we're taking off. Then we're flying back over to number 2, the west end of the Old Oak Common site, and then number 3, this is the access point, and we're going to have a look and see what that looks like. So here we go. And as we can take off, we can see a lot of work has already been completed since our last visit, with all of the excavations on this side completed. And as we gain some more altitude, we can see over there, next to the Hitachi depot, the blue long building, the new platforms for the Great Western Mainline are starting to take shape. Now before I go on any further, if you like what you're seeing, do hit that like button. And for more videos, please hit subscribe. And as always, the content here is always free. However, I only upload maybe every other month to give the site a chance to look different every time we come back. Now the image I'm about to share with you here is the artist's impression of what we see in front of us now. And if you want to pause to get a longer look, here's the chance to do so. But we can see the Elizabeth Line depot on the left hand side, which we can see right here in this shot too. It gives you some sort of scale and location of what's to go in. With the area we're looking down upon now to be part of the new bus station and access road area. As we fly on eastwards now, I'm going to show you another image of what the concourse is supposed to look like inside, and you'll be able to spot the similarities between this construction site and the finished product. And in a moment quite clearly be able to see the shape of the concourse, the areas for the escalators and the platforms all coming into view, along with the slots in the upper concourse for the elevators. But just right now we're going to fly over to those new surface platforms for the Great Western Mainline and get ourselves a closer look. For now, we can see the construction of 3 platforms with 6 faces. That's 2 faces per platform, making a total of 6 actual platforms in this image. And towards the right hand side, between the Hitachi depot, which is the blue building, and the platforms, we can see the Great Western Mainline itself. Now this in the future will pose a few problems, because this area is destined to get 8 platforms, or 4 platform bodies in total, with the last one to be sited where the Great Western Mainline currently runs. These works will necessitate the Great Western Mainline to either reduce capacity to just 2 lines, one up and one down, or complete closure with diversions to other destinations. But once completed, we'll provide those 8 platforms here at Old Oak Common. We are going to continue flying eastwards over the new platforms to see how construction has gone. And as we can see, compared to the last video, there's a lot more completed. And as we turn to our right hand side, we can see where the new station throat is going to be, where the land has been suitably flattened, compacted, ready for railway lines to be placed later. Now beginning to look back westward, we can see inside the station carcass of Old Oak Common on the high speed lines. This is to do with the picture that I showed you earlier, And we can clearly see the platforms inside are almost complete. All of the concrete structure is in place. And now we're just waiting really for the building to go over on top before we can start fitting out. And looking down here, we can clearly see the access for the elevator shafts along with the abutments for the escalators. Moving on up westbound again, we can look down into a very clear opening to see the platforms and the internal overbridge between them. For now, I'm going to fly on up and have a look around the rest of the site in this area, have a poke around, see what we can see, and I'll chat to you when we go to site number 2 on the west end of Old Oak Common, which is later in this video. Spinning around, we can now look at the western end of Old Oak Common. We can see here that the excavation conveyor belts are still in place. Looking in at this end, there's not really much to see compared to last time, as this portal area is almost complete. The main works are the tunnel excavations, much further to the northwest. This is where all the spoil comes out to be taken away. And now moving on up, what used to be a circular tunnel access is now a semicircle. So half of it has been covered over. And this is the view eastwards over the entire site. You pretty much got the entirety of the old Oak Common site in this one image. Turning left and looking north, we can see where the excavation conveyor belts are taking all of the soil. This conveyor belt happens to pass over the access point which we just zoomed in on. It is in this picture somewhere, but you can't quite see it from here. So I'm going to go and land and take a closer walk up so you can see a bit more. Now taking off from Atlas Road, we have a much better chance of being able to see the access point. So we'll do that now. We can see here on the left hand side as well, there is some sort of reception point for the precast materials to go into the tunnel. Now towards the top right of this image, we can see the ramp down into the access tunnel. This is called the Atlas Road Access Tunnel. The access tunnels provide a way to get a vehicle down into the tunnels themselves without having to lower them down through one of the portals or through the station carcass. But that's basically it now for the video. If you've liked what you've seen, do hit that subscribe button and do hit the like. I'm going to leave you now, and if you watch long enough, you'll see a Class 60 hauling a load of hopper wagons, which are involved in the High Speed 2 construction process. Thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.